Alright, I'm gonna just get right into it because this message is long. And the reason it's as long as it is because this message was constructed with a dual purpose. It was constructed to be for the people and from the people. And when I say the people, I mean the people. I mean the ones Malcolm X would often and affectionately refer to as the so-called Negro, who, although eloquently written into the fabric of our mission, are estranged to this self-evident position of having been created equal, estranged to the treatment that should be associated with such an understanding. So before advancing as a country, the citizens are going to need some clarity. Do we really even believe in that mission? Do we truly seek to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity? Because as far as liberty is concerned, a lot of us aren't feeling so blessed. And that's the point. When domestic tranquility becomes civil unrest and Senator Moynihan's policy of benign neglect in order to lull any inclination toward insurrection, along with this illusion of inclusion, is starting to wear thin as people are beginning to reflect and start answering these questions. And that's causing anger to build. But the problem is our anger is ineffective. Because as Toni Morrison once stated, we are not strong, only aggressive. Yasin Bey, formerly known as Mos Def, in understanding the essence of that message, later expressed his interpretation, and what he said is, not strong, only aggressive, because the power ain't directed. That's why we are subjected to the will of the oppressive. Not strong, only aggressive, because the power ain't directed. That's why we are subjected to the will of the oppressive. And think about it. Without a specific direction, how can we expect to be effective? Because even with all of the injustice and authoritative indiscretion, somehow we've still neglected to keep our focus on the ball. If a group is subjected to the will of the oppressive, you think that group will become adept at that oppressor's protocols. But we don't. We just get frustrated, we'll march, we'll pray, hoping that as a result of our protest, change will be bestowed upon us by those at the top. Justice will be given to us by those at the top. Grace will be granted to us by those at the top. People, if we continue to choose hope over understanding, we will continue to be at a disadvantage, and none of their antics are gonna stop, nigga. Don't believe me, just watch. How we gonna take on a whole system we can't even take on a cop? We don't even know how to manage during a basic traffic stop. Real talk. Ask us what's acceptable. We're really not that sure. So, in effort to be the change and not just keep complaining, right now we're going to go ahead and explore amendment number 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. Now, that's not the whole thing, all right? There's a little bit more to it, and collectively we'd be a lot better off if a lot more of us knew it. So it will behoove us to learn it all, and it will behoove us all to learn it. But you know more about this topic than you actually realize, as our good brother Sean Carter did us all a public service. That second verse to 99 Problems was constructed precisely for this purpose, to make you understand that you do not have to consent to searches. Commit that phrase to memory. Play it back and rehearse it. When they ask to search your vehicle, say, I do not consent to any searches. I do not consent to any searches. You have every right to say that. That's the way the law is built. The presumption is innocent, so refusal to consent to this is not evidence of guilt. Number 2, and equally important to know, especially when you feel like they're playing games with you and they moving kind of slow, say, officer, I've shown you everything that I'm required to show. Are you detaining me, or am I free to go? Are you detaining me, or am I free to go? And I would also be committing their name, badge number, and everything that they say in the memory on the low. All right, that's item number 3. Here's 4. And this last one, based on my own personal encounters and the accounts of my peers, seems to be the one that needs to be made the most clear, because we just don't seem to get it. Like these days, it would just seem that it's just not too often that a John Q. Public gets confronted by an officer go lightly. So unfortunately, but most importantly, you have to speak politely. You have to keep your cool. Even if you know you got profile, even if you know it's a foul situation, remain calm. And before you get on me, understand, I know what you're thinking, fam, and I completely agree. It's like, how you telling us that we need to be on some calm shit when all these young brothers been catching bullets in their armpits? They say stay calm. What they mean is remain harmless, knowing good and damn well they gonna gun you down regardless. And I feel you on that. I share your same frustration. I share your same heart. But I also did the knowledge. So don't make the mistake of thinking I'm just one of these tools that's out here trying to assuage your rage to get you to follow all the rules. In no way, shape, form, or fashion am I trying to neuter the people. I'm simply trying to convey that there's rules to skewing this evil. So yes, a lot of these guidelines may make you feel like a pushover, especially when you're dealing with decrees from a corrupt foot soldier who wants to investigate you because you obviously fit the description, and they probably won't have probable cause, but legally can reasonably harass you if they have reasonable suspicion. Now, probable cause is actually more of a fact-based inquisition, and reasonable suspicion is basically based on that officer's intuition in order to give them latitude in making on-the-spot decisions, because realistically they can't efficiently do their job if they have that many restrictions. It's just a goddamn shame that whenever law is practiced subjectively, people of my complexion are always a victim of that permission. We are unquestionably the most targeted. But everybody should care, because injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. But to be fair, this is America. It ain't all about race. Fact is, whether white, black, brown, most of us don't have the cash or come from backgrounds to avoid pat downs and say, my dad's gonna have your ass. So we all need to get involved. No matter what your heritage or philosophy, because this is happening where you live and they're getting bolder in their atrocities. I've watched these clips with my own two eyes and there's still some shit that I cannot believe. Now we got neighborhoods that never before saw the need that have formed a neighborhood watch. Not to monitor cat burglars, but to monitor neighborhood cops. Because they'll choke you out in public. Broad daylight, nigga. Let the neighborhood watch show up at your peaceful assembly in riot gear, shoot out some canisters, cause some tears, spray rubber bullets in the crowd and say it was because y'all threw rocks. And controlling the media makes all of that easier. When you can edit, adjust, crop, pan the camera, control the fader, you have no problem making the agitated look like the agitator while you commence to making a demonstration out of these fucking demonstrators, right? A show of force to ensure that activity of this sort won't likely happen later, right? And if you as a citizen do happen to record misconduct and post it on social networks, at best they'll say, well, the situation will be addressed pending investigation from our experts. And while you've incurred the cost of damages and someone's mother grieves, a bigoted cop who shot first then kicks back and enjoys paid administrative leave. And that breeds a loss of hope. So I understand when my people say, what good is educating ourselves if they just gonna do what they want to do anyway? So it's got us like, why? Why should we even try? I mean, let's be honest. Knowledge of the law is only as powerful as the lawbreaker's willingness to comply. So it's pushed my people into this thinking that the only option we have left is to pray, lay down, and die. I'll tell you why that can't be the mindset that we even begin to subscribe to, but I won't tell you using my own words. I'll tell you what was prescribed to us by those who facilitated phenomenal growth in this nation and abroad, who have much more experience with the evolution of minds than I do. Malcolm X described why it was unacceptable to let depression get the best of us or let our spirit wane. He said, usually, when people are sad, they don't do anything. They just cry over their condition. But when they get angry, they bring about a change. Frederick Douglass said, knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. Knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. He said, find out just what any people will quietly submit to, and you have found the exact measure of injustice and wrong which will be imposed upon them. He said the limits of tyrants are prescribed by the endurance of those who they oppress. Meaning, if that's what you're willing to take, That's exactly what you gonna get. And last but not least, our good brother Sam Cooke saying some of the realest words ever. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. And that's real. Like I said, some of the truest words ever spoken. Them lyrics are prolific. But maybe for our benefit, we need a brother Sam to be a little bit more specific. Because we just don't seem to get it. See, a change is going to come. That's for certain. But it's not going to come because you sing it. And it's not going to come in the hands of another. It'll only come when you bring it.